on the road hack. Pack your own sandwich, pack your wraps, make it healthy, feel better, save money, drive faster. Let's go. What's up, guys? Garrett Paquette, back at it, back on the road, headed to another tournament. This time we're headed to the Red River in Louisiana, and I've actually got a good chunk of the drive done. I'm like 800, 900 miles into it. I actually stopped last night for a few hours, slept, and we're gonna finish it off tonight or today in a couple hours here. Long drive, I think it was like 1,100 miles total, something like that, maybe 1,200 almost. And it's gonna be another tricky one. I mean, we just got done with the Chesapeake Bay last week, and it was a super tough tournament. I was fortunate to get out with a check after only catching 8 bass in 2 days. And this one could be more of the same, probably even tougher from what I'm seeing. I've never been here, so I don't want to have any preconceived notions, but generally when you're down south, you're on a river in September, it's going to be hot, fishing's going to be tough. You know, I know we're going to be dealing with the fish that we are catching aren't going to be super big, but for me, it's not a big deal. I mean, the fishing it's relevant, right? We're competing. I'm trying to catch more than the next guy. I don't care if that means I have to catch 3 fish a day that are all weigh a pound, or if I have to catch 5 fish that weigh over 40 pounds. I mean, that doesn't matter to me. The payout is going to be the same. The points are going to be the same. Everything is the same. The fishing may be different, but at the end of the day, this is a competition. It's going to be a great test. It's a super important tournament for me. We've only done one in the central division of the Opens, and I finished 24th place. And to make the Elite Series, I have to be in the top 3 overall. And I think that if I average around that 24th place, maybe a touch higher, I'll have a great chance at it. So ideally, I come out of here with a top 20 finish. I mean, ideally, I win the tournament, obviously. But if I come out of here with a top 20 finish, I feel like I have a real chance going into the final tournament in a couple of weeks. So big week for me. I know it's going to be hard. It's going to be hot. It's going to be a grind, but that's the way it should be. These tournaments shouldn't be easy here. I mean, you're trying to test yourself and test the guys to see who's ready to move on to the next level of fishing, and this is the way it should be. It shouldn't always just be a, lay up with fish butt in, and it doesn't matter what you do. Everyone's having a good time. It's not always like that. So this will be an interesting one. We're going to keep driving, get there, get unpacked, get some rods rigged, do grocery shopping, all that good stuff. You guys stay tuned. Now here's the setup right here, guys. Just got to the Airbnb. We have a gated in parking area. Nice big lot, truck and boat. The biggest thing with these is just feeling safe. That's why I do the Airbnbs for the most part, and we'll be safe at this one. Nice little, actually I'm in the guest house off of the main house here. Just cool. I've actually already met the lady that lives here. Super nice. So that's actually gonna be nice that they're gonna be on the site in case anything happens. Nice simple kitchen. You guys know I make all my dinners in that oven. Good big fridge. We actually got a laundry room, which is kind of unique, and since I'm gonna be on the road for 3 weeks, perfect for me. Bedroom, master bath. Nothing crazy, but really nice, clean, small space. Perfect for what I'm gonna need this week. All right, guys, first look at the Red River. Just got the boat in the water. I drove down maybe, I don't know, 10 to 15 miles just to kind of look at how it lays out, see if there's anything I really like. Kind of excited, new fishery. I know it's gonna be a tough week like we've already talked about, but I think it's a good opportunity to do well. And for me, the first thing I'm doing when I get to a new body of water, especially if it's gonna be tough, is I'm gonna do what I want to do. Not saying I only throw one bait or anything, but on a place like this, I know there's a lot of wing dams and rocky shoreline. That means I am going to be throwing this crankbait until I confirm that they are not biting it. So that's exactly what we're gonna do. We're gonna get out here in the morning when the sun's still low, fish crankbait around, see if we can get bit on it. And honestly, with how tough I anticipate this tournament to be, if I can get 2 to 3 bites on this thing, that may be enough to just make me do it all day long. So we'll see. Man, it's gonna be hot. It's gonna be like 95 every day this week, no wind. I've already noticed the river has no current, which is not good. That might actually hurt this crankbait bite, but we'll see. You never know. Sometimes, you know, you can have negative preconceived notions and it turns into the best fishing week of your life, so we will see. Got something hung up in this brush pile. I can feel them on there, I think. Maybe. Yeah, there's a fish on this. It's probably gonna be like a catfish or something. Who knows in this river? This is my first fish of the week. If I can get him out, maybe. Yeah, I see the brush pile. Oh yeah, I see the bass too. I don't know if I'll be able to get him. He's little. Got in a bad spot. Oh, there we go. All right. That was a lot of work for a 12-inch fish, but I'll tell you, if he swallowed that. Huh. There you go, guys. First Red River fish. It's a hot one down here on the river. I think today the high is gonna be like 97, 98. I don't know what the real feel is gonna be, probably well into the hundreds, I'm sure. And man, there is not the slightest of breeze. It is the ultimate physical test. You know, these are the days where it can break you mentally, and it's important to, you know, take all the precautions so that you can fish in these conditions. I mean, you look at me, I got long sleeve. I actually got pants on, which you would think pants and gloves. You would think pants on a hot day is not the smartest of calls, but I found in my experience, the less sun that's on my body is the better. So I'll have my face mask up, you know, I'll have every inch of my body covered that I can, and it'll allow me to stay out here longer. I mean, obviously I'm drinking tons of water, a couple Gatorades, stuff like that. But it's tough, and it's harder when the fishing is this bad, you know, just to kind of mentally stay in it. But, you know, I know that this practice, I'm literally looking for one or two things in general throughout my whole practice. It's not going to be a slugfest of a tournament, so you find one or two little areas or get one or two bites that can clue you in for the tournament. That's all you're looking for. So it's important that you're mentally sharp. You know, if you're out there thinking about how hot it is or how you'd rather be inside, you could miss that opportunity. So we're staying out here, grinding away, picking away at it. It's almost noon, I guess. I'm gonna have a long day here, and we'll see what happens. But man, so far the Red River is exactly what I thought it'd be. Super tough, you know, one or two bites a day kind of deal, and it is what it is. So. We got ourselves a little pasta night. Oop, we're boiling. I really don't even like pasta, but sometimes you have to do what works. And we used to always cook this while we were in tournaments, and it always seemed to work, bring good luck. So tonight, with having such a tough practice as I am, we're doing pasta night. Let this be the reason I top 10 this tournament. I would love to catch them out of stuff like this right here. This floating hyacinth, I think that's hyacinth. There's actually 4 foot of water underneath this stuff, so what you do is you use a really heavy weight, get your bait through there. A lot of times they'll bite it right on the initial fall, but it's a good way to catch a, you know, not necessarily a lot of fish, but a big fish. And obviously that's great cover. I mean, there could be thousands of fish in here you can never have access to. What I'm doing is just dropping this 6 ounce and a half weight, putting it right in there and letting it crash through that grass, get to the bottom, shake it a little bit. I don't know if you'll be able to, I'm sure, I shouldn't say that. I know some guys are gonna catch them this way, this week, and hopefully I can be one of them, because this is one of my favorite ways to fish, is to flip this heavy cover. Especially if I could do like, kind of what I was hoping, if I could crank a little bit in the morning maybe, and then kind of mix this in. I don't want to just be sticking only to the crankbait. I'd like to have a couple different things going. So if I find a pattern like this or similar way just to catch a couple fish. It'll be really good for me mentally. That way, if one thing's not working, I'll be able to bounce around a little bit. I don't want to just have one way where I think I have to fish to get my bites. Because usually in these multi-day tournaments with different conditions, things don't go as planned. You're gonna have to have a couple different things. It might be really hot and sunny one day with no wind and crankbait bite doesn't work, or it might be cloudy and this bite doesn't work. So you want to have multiple options. That way you're able to adjust on the fly and catch them every single day instead of just for one day. That's the hard part. I don't want to say it's easy to get them one day. It's not, but fishing for one day is a whole lot different than fishing these multi-day events. You gotta have a lot of things going. Gotta be willing to adjust and be ready to change your locations, change your presentation and all that good stuff. So we'll see. I'm gonna do this for a while this morning. Start our last full day of practice, and hopefully we can get some stuff going. I mean, I'm probably like 40 miles away from where we take off, which is quite a way. So if I don't find them here, it's not the end of the world, because I wouldn't mind just staying close to the ramp for this tournament. But I do know historically this is a really, really popular area, and I'm sure 3 or 4 guys are gonna probably honestly make the top 10 of this area. So hopefully we can see what's going on in here, figure a few things out. All right, so here's an interesting deal for this week, is that we may be locking into other pools. These are big giant locks. We have access to 3 pools 4, 5, or 5, 4, and 3. These locks, they take like 30 to 40 minutes each time. You can get stuck in the locks with barges, all sorts of things. But a lot of guys are gonna access different pools through these locks. I may be one of them too, depending on how things are looking. Super risky deal though. You may be able to, it's gonna take a lot of your day. You might get locked out, you may not make it back to weigh in on time, all sorts of things can happen. But you get to go to water where a lot of the guys aren't gonna go to because they're not even wanna mess with it. So it's another variable in play this week. We'll see what happens. But look at this lock. This is the biggest lock I've ever been in a bass boat. This thing is like 700 feet long, I think they said, and it must go up at least 40 or 50 feet. So this is a big deal. I already went through it once, and like I said, it probably took 30-40 minutes total. So yeah, another thing to think about. Pretty cool though to be you feel pretty small in here when you're in a bass boat, but yeah, it's amazing how much water goes up and down in this system, and how fast they can get you through for how big it is. It's pretty cool, something different, something we don't have back at home. But these southern rivers that are pushing barge traffic through, obviously they have to have locks to keep their water levels where they're at. So well guys, here's what tackle prep looks like when it's 100 degrees outside. I brought all my stuff in here in the Airbnb, getting things rigged up, relining rods, changing a bunch of hooks on my crankbaits, put on a new Gamakatsu G Finesse, bunch of sunline, all that good stuff. And I will say it's pretty inconvenient. Usually I like having my stuff in the boat, and it's easy for me to get in and out, but this is what we're working with. I got like, 4 boxes of crankbaits. Plan on cranking this week a little bit. Bunch of treble hooks. Any bait I think I might use, I'll change the hooks on. A bunch of extra reels, rods, hooks, weights, all that good stuff. Bunch of stuff out there in the boat that it's too hot to do, or too hot to be out there with. But man, it's I don't know, practice is over. Once again, it's just literally too hot to run the cameras for the most part. But I had 3 bites today. Set the hook on one of them, it was like 12 inches. But it was a keeper bass. The other ones felt, equal to or maybe even a little bit bigger, but just really hard. I mean, I'm sitting here just trying to formulate my game plan, thinking of how I'm going to attack this river. I haven't got my boat number yet, so that'll kind of determine a little bit. But I think for me, it's just going to be almost, not to play it safe. There is no playing it safe here or taking a risk. It's always a risk. I mean, the fishing's so hard. Anywhere you go, you can zero. Anywhere you can go, you can catch one. One of those deals. But I think I'm going to stay fairly close, maximize my time, and just try to fish really productive stuff. Man, I think if I can get like 1 to 3 fish flipping or just casting a worm around, that I think I can fill up my limit cranking. And I might be totally wrong on that. There might be so many guys doing it that I can't catch anything doing it. That might happen, but I'd rather, when it's this tough, I'd rather just fish to my strengths. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to lock that crankbait in my hand for the majority of the day, and hopefully we can make things happen. I mean, I literally have no idea what's going to happen. I've never fished here in a tournament, never done any of that, but I know it's going to be really hard. So it's important. We got to have all of our hooks sharpened and new and ready to go, and we can't afford to lose a fish. So I'll make sure everything's perfect, and yeah, that's that. All right, guys, we're ready to go here. Day 1, boat 13. Gonna get out there, be one of the first boats out, one of the first boats in. Super short day. Of course, I get an amazing boat number when I don't really have anywhere to go. That's usually how that works for me. And then I got somewhere I really want to get to, and I'm boat 142 for these tournaments. But we'll see. Excited to get out there. It's nice right now. It's only 71 degrees. Gonna get to like 101 today, I think they said. So gonna be a good physical test. But yeah, we're gonna run around, work as hard as we can. And the goal today is just to catch 5 fish. If I catch 5 a day, I'm gonna have a good finish. It's just that simple. I don't care how big they are. Well guys, day 1 is over. Not to anybody's surprise, the camera overheated. I was surprised, I got like 4 hours out of it. You guys probably saw those 4 catches. And then I caught my biggest fish actually cranking, and I lost a decent one, and I think I caught one that upgraded maybe 1 or 2 ounces. So I had 7 keeper bites today, which I'm ecstatic about. I mean, what a great way to start my morning, to catch 4 fish in the first 90 minutes, maybe hour 40, something like that. So super relaxing day, literally the least stressful day of the year for me on the toughest fishery. So to start with 4 was it just made everything go by easy. I got to experiment a little bit, look around, try some new things, and kind of like set myself up for tomorrow. I think I don't even know if I said, yeah, I had 9 pounds, or almost 9 pounds, 8 pounds, 15 ounces. I just looked, I'm in 16th place after about midway through the weigh-in, a little more than midway through the weigh-in. So I might be like top 30, something like that. Which is, I'll take it. And it's not who can catch them for one day, it's can you back it up? And if I go out there and I catch another 8, 9 pounds, I'm gonna be realistically probably close to a top 10. So that's the deal. Gonna rig up, maybe go punch a few up tomorrow, get in the grass, retie some stuff. I don't have a whole lot of rigging to do because I only caught them like on 2 different baits. I didn't throw a whole lot of rods, but I want to be ready again for anything I may come across out there. All right, guys, getting ready to go. Day 2 here. Had a really long day. Yesterday I was one of the first boats out, first boats in. Today I'm like boat 215 maybe, and I get an extra 2 hours of fishing. So I'm not coming in until 5:10. It'll be another long, hot day on the water. We'll see. I anticipate it to be tougher. Usually these tournaments always get tougher on day 2. But I do know where they just released like 700 bass, which is where we're sitting. So all we gotta do is trick 5 of them. We'll see. I can't imagine it's gonna go as smooth and as laid back and easy as yesterday. But if it does, that'd be amazing. Give us some time to run around and, you know, possibly make a run at this top 10 if I catch, I'm thinking over 10 pounds. Obviously there wasn't much day 2 footage. Well, one, because the cameras absolutely hate the heat in Louisiana, and I tried everything to really keep those things going. I tried, you know, taking the batteries out and doing all that and all those tricks, and it worked a little bit, but they just couldn't last all 8 hours. But on top of that, I had nothing to show. I unfortunately had a super tough day 2, and I caught one fish that was like 1 pound and 8 ounces. I had a 10-hour day, and it took me 9 hours and 40 minutes to catch that fish. I literally just didn't have any bites. I mean, it was super hard. Red River's a tough place. Unfortunately, that dropped me from, what was I, 28th on day 1 to 76th. So that's that was kind of a blow. You hate giving up 50 spots like that. But it happens. I mean, that's part of this game. You can't go out there and get them every day. That just, it makes the drive. I'm actually gonna drive home here right now, and that makes a 1,000 mile drive home pretty not fun to put it nicely. But it was a huge opportunity. It actually, for me in the points, what it would have done if I would have stayed consistent in that tournament, it would have made the last 2 events real interesting. I didn't look at the points during day 1 of the tournament because I don't like getting in my mental space. I'd rather just go out there, fish, try to do my job, and then worry about it all after. But I checked them real quick before that second day set in for me, and I would have been probably like 15-ish points outside of the Elite Series cutoff with 2 tournaments left. So I just gave all that back. I don't want to say it ends it for the year, but if I won the next 2 events, I give myself maybe a 20% chance of getting through. So not great. Had a huge opportunity, and just didn't. I don't want to say I didn't perform. I mean, I worked really hard, and I did what I thought was the way to catch them on that river. And obviously day 1 it worked well. It's just a tough place. I mean, if you look at the weights, I think like 8 pounds, maybe even more than 8 pounds, was in 40th place after day 1, the last check, and it only went up to 12. So guys caught half as much as they did on day 1, and obviously a lot of guys caught less than half, including me. So super tough place, but I like the challenges. I don't like them as much when they're so hard that they, it's hard to catch 5 or it's hard to get anything going. Like I was trying a lot of different things out there, running bunch of new water, stuff I've never seen before, just trying to get any kind of hint so I could get a bite and then roll with it. I mean, that's how I like to fish. I just couldn't get a bite. And when you can't get a bite, it's really hard to lock in on something and go and, continue to catch more fish. So that's that. The one thing I was going to do is I was going to fish for some release fish where the tournament released the fish that we caught on day 1, and I kind of misjudged that location on where they did it, and guys, I think, caught them pretty good there. So that does sting a little bit too, but it feels like the last 5 tournaments for me, even including yesterday, or maybe not including yesterday, we're on the right trajectory. I feel like I'm fishing a lot better. I'm making better decisions. I'm having fun out there. These are giant tournaments. We've talked about it. These are huge fields, tons of good guys, hard to do well. I mean, even 75th is a top 3rd out of some of the best guys in the country. So it's not nothing to hang your head over. It just kind of, we had a really good opportunity there, and it kind of slipped away from us. But gonna drive home, get organized for a few days, get ready for Lake Hartwell and Sam Rayburn. Those will be 2 fun ones. We just had 2 really tough tournaments, so it'll be nice to have 2 better fishing tournaments, just more fun fishing tournaments for the end of the season here. So I'm looking forward to it. But for now, I'm gonna sit in this truck for about 20 hours and get home and get some rest. What's up, guys? Thank you for watching this video. Here at Partsview, we are very passionate about the boating lifestyle. If you want to see more content like this, make sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and check out partsview.com for all your boating needs. We'll catch you next time.